Hi, Marie. You made it.
Hi, Crystal.
How are you today? Is it
so good?
Are you cozy? I mean, in here, okay, so let's just be really honest. I'm in Houston. It is 26 degrees here, and we are all losing our minds. Like, school's canceled today. It is shut down because we cannot handle it. So I'm just curious, are you warm and cozy up there in New York?
I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's snow. So I woke up today to a couple inches of snow. So I'm warm, I'm cozy, but I'm also from the East Coast. So I'm super used to, like, do you know what I mean? I'm used to this stuff. So it's freezing, but it's nice.
I love it. I know.
Yeah,
I'm like, everyone's like, it's just shut down.
Yeah.
It's just, the whole state of Texas just shuts down anytime. But we can handle the heat. So I don't know what that, like, the metaphor, like, you can't take the heat, like, get out of the kitchen. Like, I feel like we just can't take the cold, right? So we just need to get under some warm blankets. That's what we need to do.
You need some cozy socks. You need some mittens. You need a bunch of blankies. Then we're just got to get you steamed up inside.
Yes, exactly. Which I think today's conversation will absolutely do that, because Marie, I'm so, like, thank you so much for taking the time to do this, because I know you are busy in the middle of promoting your Time Genius program and helping people change their lives. So I just want to start right here, because I have been following you for many years, and I mean, you have so many amazing messages, from copywriting to marketing to business, but if there's one thing that really rings true across all of your platforms, it's helping people change their lives. So I'm just curious, do you have anything to say to someone that's listening right now and they're like, maybe they woke up on the wrong side of the bed and they're like, I don't really see anything positive coming for me in 2024. I'm kind of down in the dumps, and they don't know how to turn it around.
First of all, been there. Absolutely can understand, have the t-shirt more than once. So if you're feeling that way right now, you're not alone. This past Friday, so the 12th, that just passed. I don't know if you know this, Crystal, but it was known as Quitter's Day. Mm-hmm. It was the day that the vast majority of people, like, kind of give up on their dreams of having 2024 be different than the years before. So I think that one of the things that's most important to remember for all of us, you know, feeling depressed, feeling lost, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like there's way too much to do, that you can't keep up, it is endemic of our time. And you're not alone. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not doing anything wrong. My particular perspective on it is, because I've felt that many, many times in my career and life, and I've been doing what I've been doing for 22 years now, so I have enough perspective to see the ups and downs, is I just want to let you know that you're not broken, but I would suspect, if you're anything like me, how I was, you're just kind of caught in this broken paradigm around time. It's very rooted in our culture, at least the American culture, and we've done a great job of exporting that all around the world. So when I meet some of our folks that are from Europe or different parts of the world, they also say the same thing, because again, we've got this idea in our notion that if we're not working 24/7, you know what I mean, we got to push. If you really want it, it's like, you know, nose to the grindstone all the time. And I think I've watched, and I'm sure you have too, and so people listening, the explosion of the demands on our time and our attention, especially over, like, the let's say last 5 to 10 years. You need to be on every platform all the time, 24/7. If you're not constantly engaging and creating value, and you've got your podcast and your YouTube and your TikToks and your Instagram, and it's like, when the hell are you supposed to run a business? When the hell are you supposed to have a life? And many of the people, Crystal, I don't know if some of your folks are like this, but I have so many people that come up to me and they're like, Marie, I hate social media. I don't want to do it. You know, and like, they're just revealing these things to me, just like, but do I have to? Please don't tell me I have to. And so I'm saying all of this to say that if you have found yourself beaten down over the past couple of years, if you find yourself with this feeling like, I can't keep up, I can't be at this pace, I don't know if I have what it takes to kind of live into my dream business and my dream life, I'm here to tell you, you do have it. You're just stuck in an old paradigm, and we need to upgrade it. Just like if your computer or your phone is operating on an older system, it's an older piece of software, and you're like, this shit is broke. You know what I mean? Like, it's slowing down and it's not working. It's the same thing with our own internal operating system around time. Because time is that one consistent thing, whether it's your goal this year is to really grow your business, right? You want more leads, you want more sales, more conversions. It may be something around your health. You might be hitting a stage in your life where you're like, whoa, stuff is starting to fall apart and I haven't really paid attention to this. And like the health is the foundation of everything. If I don't have that, I can't even run a business because I'm not going to be around. It might be relationships that you've neglected, or you're just like, I want more rich and full and rewarding relationships. Whatever it is, if you don't have time for it, or you don't think you have time for it, or you don't make time for it, whatever those dreams are, you can't accomplish them. And so that's why I really wanted to tackle this topic, because it was becoming a huge pain point for me. And then when I surveyed and asked our audience, we just started talking about it. Everyone was in pain around this one thing, and it was the one block that was preventing them. And they're like, all these things I know I should do for my business, all these things I'm supposed to do, these healthy habits to feel better, I don't have time for freaking anything. And I was like, welcome to the club. Let's fix this.
Yeah, this is so, I mean, it's so important because I think that there's so many, I think people think that I don't dream big enough, right? Like I don't, like my dreams are, you know, like they're squishing me down. They're almost burying me because it feels impossible.
Correct.
It feels like you want to dream and you're like, oh yeah, of course I want to, you know, work on a laptop in the beach, you know, having somebody bring drinks to me, and I want to do this and I want to travel. I want to do all these things, but it feels impossible. So
Correct.
for someone that is, you know, you mentioned a creator that is absolutely listening right now in this audience that is like, got to be on Instagram, I got to be on my podcast, I got to do this, I got to do that. What piece of advice would you give to them if they are sitting down, because I know you love a time audit, like looking at like what they're going to do over the next week to accomplish all of these things? What type of mindset do they need to be in to really just evaluate where they are today with their time? Because I think a lot of people look at, you know, okay, I'm supposed to write down all the things that I'm going to do over the next week. That feels impossible.
Yeah.
I spend, you know, 10 minutes doing this, 20 minutes doing that. So what would you give, what type of advice would you give to that person?
I think it's backing up and just recognizing we have to first realize that if we're going to shift this paradigm, and I always set it up in these two ways, like there's a world of time stress and there's a world of being a time genius. Time stress is what 90% of the world operates in. It's what most of us have operated in. Again, it's just cultural conditioning. It's what we've been pushed into. It's the only option that most of us have ever seen. So we didn't know better, right? And in that world, in that paradigm, most of us feel like time is not really of our control, right? And so there's a quote that I love, Crystal, that I want to share, and it's the beginning of shifting from the inside out. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're in control of it. You're the pilot, right? So the bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. And once you start to recognize that, hey, just because the world is demanding that I'm supposed to do all these things, and I feel like whether it's I have kids or I have pets or I have, you know, aging parents, or, you know, I'm a caretaker or special needs, any of that stuff, that's not in my control. It's like, if you actually put yourself in the driver's seat around time and you realize you absolutely always have time for what's most important, that actually starts to open up this new idea of that, okay, if I just play with this belief, I always have time for what's most important, just try it on. What it then requires you to get clear on is what's most important. And it's not everything. Most of us are so scrambling because we've never paused enough to really take the time to think about what is most important for me to achieve in my business. What are what I like to call the big rocks, that if you tackled these handful of really big things, they would really move the needle in terms of growing your leads, growing your sales, growing your revenue, and growing your profit. Most people are so scrambling in time stress that they don't have any intentionality of understanding the clarity of what's most important, so they can ignore what's not. So Crystal, that was like a kind of a long way of saying what I would say to that person is what you first need to do is shift your entire mindset, your heart set, and your paradigm around time. It is in your control. You always have time for what's most important, and we need to get crystal clear on what's most important in your business and your life. Then we can start to give you strategies, tools, and techniques so that you are using your time for what's most important, and you are batting away ruthlessly and kind of joyfully the bullshit that's not.
Yeah.
So the shiny objects, you know, constantly scrolling, all of the different ways that modern society has really dumped a ton of information on us, has dumped a ton of distractions and interruptions on us that we have allowed. And you start to kind of reel back the control of your focus, your attention, and your personal power. I know that sounds kind of cheesy and trite, but it's really true. And so when you make this shift from the inside out, when you start to recognize that I have all the time that I need to accomplish my big goals, I just need to be smarter about it. What are the tools and the habits and everything that we talk about in Time Genius, I just have to say this, is evidence-based. This isn't theory that I with.
Yes.
This isn't like some, bullshit that has not been road tested. Everything is evidence-based because that's, what I trust, and I'm a research nerd. And so when you start to operate like that and you're like, okay, let me assume that I have exactly the amount of time I need to accomplish my biggest goals. I've just been probably doing some of the wrong shit in the wrong order. I haven't understood how my brain operates best. I haven't understood that I'm probably overworking and there's diminishing returns. I haven't understood that science actually says it's not about working 8 to 10 hours a day. Top performers usually have 4 good hours, what I like to call the core 4, of when you can get a massive amount of excellent work done. And then you can use some additional hours to do things like meetings and follow-ups and all the stuff that we all have. But you're getting out some powerful intellectual capital in a much shorter time frame. And then this is one of the other things that most high achievers and ambitious creators don't know. Did not make up this quote, but it's super powerful. Rest is not the reward for being a high performer. It's the prerequisite to it. Rest is not the reward for being a high performer. It's the prerequisite to it. And again, in our culture, we have this backwards. It's like, I'll sleep when I die. There's like so many stupid, crappy motivational stuff on Instagram. It's like, be the boss lady that you were too lazy to be yesterday. And I'm like, I just want to shake those quotes and light them on fire because it's actually not rooted in science and it's not rooted in truth. So I'll be quiet here. I can just keep going, and I want to make sure that I don't, that I sit there for a minute.
It's because I think that we just need a second to absorb all of that, because it's 100% true. There's so much BS out there about this is the only way to do this. This is the only way to do that. And I just don't subscribe to that. And I think it's one of the reasons why I have just loved your teachings for so long, because there's no BS in it. It's like, look, let's strip it down. It's going to be hard work, but it's going to be so worth it. Everything. And especially when it comes to time, because let's face it, it's the hottest commodity that we all have, and we're not getting more of it. So every day that we can really put these just different principles into practice, I just think that it's well worth the investment. But I know we only have a few more minutes. I am just so curious if you could go back, because I know Marie's story. And if you are just brand new to Marie, please go watch Marie TV, go check out her podcast, and check out all the incredible content that she's created. But I want to go back to bartending Marie.
Yes.
Right? We're going way back. We're going way back to the Marie that had all the hopes and dreams, that wanted to create a business, that wanted to help people. What was the thing that if you could go back to her and say, girl, this is the one thing, if you could do this with your time today, it's going to pay off for decades to come, not years, but decades to come. What piece of advice would you give to her?
So I would give her a little atta-girl, because she did it, which was this. And this is especially important for everyone listening right now. A lot of times people are like, God, what's the secret to your success? And I was like, I created consistent content. Even back then, I actually, Crystal, you'll appreciate this. When I was bartending, this was before there was anti-can spam laws and all that stuff. I had a yellow legal pad, and I'd bring it with me to my bartending job, because I'm in New York City, people would, not right now, but that's where I bartended. And people would always say, oh, what do you do when you're not bartending? Are you an actress? And I'm like, no, I'm actually a coach. I have this amazing newsletter. You should get on it. And I would have them write down their names, and I subscribe them to my newsletter. And I have done that since 2001. We're now in 2024, and, business for any human being goes up and down. So you have to strap yourself in. You have to take down your roll bar, and you have to realize it's not a smooth ride, and it's not linear. There's going to be ups and downs in your career, and that's okay. But the most underrated, the most underappreciated, the most underpracticed element of winning in business is sticking with it for the long term, is not giving up, is showing up consistently for your people and delivering that content no matter what. So I would say that don't worry about the AI this and oh my God, the shot.
Yes.
Gotta be. It's no, dude, get really good at creating content, and like we can use those tools intelligently and strategically to maximize how many places we show up. But if you don't have that consistent habit of creating no matter what, and don't let anyone stop you, none of the other things are really going to matter, because you don't have that underlying foundation, that discipline, or the compounding effects that come. Because I started in 2001, right? It's like you keep doing that. It doesn't just grow in a linear fashion, like just a little bit each year. You hit a point where it starts to take off. Yes. And if you've studied any other content creator, if you studied anyone who's been around and who's stayed around for a while, you will see that same habit to be true.
100%. Like, I just dropped both my mics. Like, I wish I could unhook this and like actually drop it. I'm throwing mics all over the place because this is incredible. Marie, I again just so appreciate you coming here. Again, thank you so much, Marie. This was incredible, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day and cozy up.
You too. Stay cozy, stay warm, and for everyone listening or watching right now, I'll just tell you this: if there are big goals that you want to hit in your business or your life, right? There's those health goals, those relationship goals, those money goals. And your mind always goes, yeah, but I don't have the time for that. Or I don't know if I can accomplish that. Please, for the love of all things holy, listen to Crystal. If you want to know the most important and powerful common denominator for human happiness, it's this. It's being in control of your time, of feeling like you get to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want. And when you start to crack that code, happiness it springs up from the inside out. And so at that point, it's like, dude, you don't need to have a gajillion followers on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. It's like you get to create, you get to be the artist in your life, but you get to do it from that driver's seat of control. It's allowing you to achieve your most important goals and dreams while also having a joyful life, where you're not crying at the end of every day going like, I can't keep up, I can't do this. It's like, no, you can totally do this. You're just operating in an old, outdated paradigm. Let us upgrade your operating system and give you the tools and the evidence-based habits you need to crush your business goals and actually be a happy, joyful human too. So,
again, my job. I'm imagining confetti cannons. I wish that I knew all the tech things that I could do to make like confetti rain down, because this was so good. Like my mind is exploding, and I am just so encouraged by all of your messages. And
thank you.
Everybody,
listen, being human is not easy. It's not easy for us. It is hard. It's really hard. And our technology has unfortunately gone a lot faster. It's been upgraded and expanded, a lot faster than kind of some of our operating systems on the inside, but we can handle that. And again, if you've been beating yourself up, if you've been feeling like you're falling behind or you can't do it, we're here to tell you, Crystal, you can absolutely do it, but let us help you tweak that operating system, give you some new habits and tools and paradigms. So again, not only can you reach all those business goals and more, but you can actually enjoy your life while you do it. And that's the name of the game.
Yeah. And if you love Marie's spiciness, she brings it. She brings it in anything that she does. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's the reason. I'm not saying it's the reason I sign up for everything. But
I thank you for saying that, because I am a little salty and spicy, and it's like, I am loving, as a human, everyone knows that. But it's so funny, Crystal, on my team too. They're like, can we see more of this one? Because they, I'm just so unleashed with them because they know me so well. And they're like, we love this. Can we just put this on camera? I'm like, okay. Thank you for hosting. Thank you for inviting me on. Thank you for supporting this course. And everyone, listen, it's not too late. You still got 2024 ahead of you. Make it your best year ever and gain a skill set that will serve you for life. So Crystal, thank you. Thank you for doing the work that you do. Thanks everyone for watching us. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks. Bye. Thanks, Marie. Thanks, everybody. Bye.